turn the mic on and have herself a little program today. How we're doing, everybody? Welcome to Barn Burner here on a Wednesday, Hump Day. Yeah, middle of the week. And this program is a presentation of Bet365, world's largest sports betting platform. Get that account open if you haven't already. Use the promo code NATION when you sign up. Download the app and let the fun begin. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And as you watch today's show, should you so choose, you can take part in the Super Chat, a small cash donation, and we will send it right on over to the good folks at the Youth Centers of Calgary. Man, good day to you. It feels like I just saw you.
Yeah, you did.
I guess we did.
Did you order that wheel to go or no?
No, it felt like the kitchen was probably going to be closed, and yeah,
you can ask.
I woke up with both remorse and appreciation.
Yeah,
because I'm like, I'm glad I didn't get a full wheel,
but
get home and crush it.
Yeah,
but damned if a full wheel would not have been good to crush last night before bed.
Or imagine if you, let's say if it's cut into 6 or 8 pieces. If you had a good helping, but there were maybe 2 pieces that were sitting in the fridge for you this morning.
Yes.
Damn.
Huska.
Jeez. That's gonna be a thing now, isn't it?
I don't know. We'll see. We don't really hold on to anything for too long. Here's an odd situation.
Oh.
Doesn't happen very often, a number of times throughout the season, but it's not a regular occurrence. Yesterday, game day. Today, game day.
They score 4, or what are you talking?
No shit. Come on. Don't get all excited, Pinder.
So 2 games. Yeah, okay. They've played more back-to-backs than I think scoring.
I mean, there was a game last night and there's a game tonight. They're playing like it's 2.
Definitely more back-to-backs than 4-goal games.
And they got more back-to-backs coming, 3 this month.
Mm-hmm.
Son of a...
Whew, they go to Chicago, St. Louis next week on the road.
Are back-to-backs that big a deal? You should probably ask me that since I played them.
Hey, Rhett, are back-to-backs that big of a deal? I'm going to play.
Ryan, I don't mind them, especially if they're followed up with a couple days in between to have that recovery, right? I don't mind that. Especially in LA and Anaheim, which is basically driving from here to Cochrane.
That's fair. What about Minnesota to Winnipeg? Because that's...
I never liked that Midwest, those flyover states,
like
right?
Dallas, Colorado.
Long ways. A bit of a haul.
Vegas, Utah.
Yeah.
That was, I think we won this year.
Is Vegas, Utah a bad one? Shouldn't be too bad, that one. But there was the Dallas, St. Louis used to be one that
those aren't close.
Well, what about Chicago, St. Louis? They got that one next week.
That's okay.
Closer.
Okay.
There's a rivalry there because they're...
Yeah. When the Flames play Chicago and then St. Louis?
No, I meant St. Louis and Chicago.
How about Saturday in February? They play at home Saturday and then in Seattle Sunday.
Hour and a half. Not bad. Really time changes works in your favor.
That's then looking ahead, this is exciting.
Sea level.
Riveting stuff. In March in Toronto, the next night in New York City.
I don't like it, Dean. I don't like it at all. I think it's low class of Bettman to do something like that. You go to Toronto, the center of the world.
Yeah.
You want to enjoy it. And then you go to New York City and I get a couple hours here? F you, Bettman. Yeah. That's brutal.
Oh, jeez.
Want to hang out in the Big Apple. Ride the subway.
Yeah.
You love the subway.
Ride the subway right now, folks. It is not a safe place.
Feels like you're fear-mongering.
No, it's actually quite funny. Hochul's the governor there, and she was in New York City saying, oh, the subway's all fine and good, and then someone got killed on the subway, literally within hours. Not funny.
Don't like that.
No.
Yes, I said it was funny, but it's not really funny.
No, it's not really, if you were to roll out.
Anyway, I like New York City, and I'd like to hang out in New York City, so I think that's a bit of a BS. Would you want to go into New York City, get to the hotel at 2 a.m., sleep the whole day, play that night,
and then leave? It's like you're not even there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Doesn't really count as a visit.
It is a job, though. I mean, they are working. I'm sure there's a lot of people who have jobs that would go and I fly in, I'm staying at the airport hotel. We've got a seminar, and then I'm flying out that day.
Yeah, but Dean, How much better are you work when you're happy?
You asked for
Brett,
my
you go out and hammer
opinion.
pizza.
You asked for with the rights and wrongs and the fairness of life. You asked for my opinion. So
Yeah.
You want him to play well, don't you?
Said we should ask your opinion.
I told you to ask me.
Yeah. Pretty much. And in fairness, it was, I mean, good.
It was a great opinion. One of the best opinions ever held.
Because it was worth it. Well, let me, before we get into tonight's game, why don't we go back and revisit last night's matchup? The 9th straight win for the Calgary Flames at the Honda Center. Of course, overtime, 3-2. Flames beat the Anaheim Ducks. On a beautiful overtime winner. Off the rush, some high skill. Beef. The puck's live, dude. Come on. Oh. So
was I supposed to be? Oh.
That I mean,
I said, like I was saying to you, it looks like John Gibson's give a shitter might be broke.
His numbers are pretty good for guys not.
They are pretty good this year, yeah. But yeah, this is the angle. So it's kind of plays the bank.
Yeah, now people online were trying to just absolutely roast Trouba. I think part of that's just all the drama he's been involved with New York over the last 6 months.
He's trying to chip it around.
It's literally off Coronado's stick. Like it's a rim it.
People are idiots.
Yeah, they are.
It's a good point, Dean.
People are idiots. Anyway, it was game 40 of the Sked, which improves the Flames record to 19-14-7. 19-14. And a rare road victory. They've got 6 of them now, so that's good.
A couple more, they'll either be at 500 or full 500. Believe
yeah,
me.
sure. Yeah. Ifs and buts, Ryan. Ifs and buts.
Can't be nuts.
That's what I say. This analysis, of course, is brought to you. Our opening statements for McLeod Law. We're proud of them. Calgary-based, Calgary roots. It's where it started. It's where it's going to stay. Big part of their long-standing client relationships is just their appreciation of the city and knowing how the people are, how things work here, and like the communities that they serve. McLeod Law team, varied and diverse, sharing a commitment to making a positive impact on our city. The best in the biz. McLeod-law.com. Whatever it is that you need in the legal field. You need some assistance. You need some help. Toot sweet. They'll be there for you. McLeod-law.com.
And by the way, you note the opening statements here. There was a sensational piece of broadcasting done last night that I feel like we could direct people to as well if they want more on this game once we're done our opening statements.
Really? Okay. Well,
yeah.
Kind of an odd tease. So you can tease it, but you can't until we're done talking about McLeod Law.
And it's far away.
Weird time to bring it up as I just start talking about McLeod Law. But anyway. So don't. That's it. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with what you're doing.
There's about 50 minutes of Dean talking about proctology and other fun things on last night's Afterburner. It's a good one to hit. I don't know that there's been a better one for comedic relief, which is kind of what we needed after watching what we watched last night. It was tough for the young center.
Well, Rhett didn't mind. He was whatever, guys get hurt in the game. It's suck it up, sweetheart. Isn't that what Rhett said?
He said, "Yeah, I wouldn't have been grimacing like that. I'm tough."
I would have got off the ice.
I'd have missed a couple shifts, maybe.
Just get up at least.
It's a bummer. Bummer for Connor Zary. The word this morning, and you take a look at the hit, and at the time, the three of us kind of felt like this is an unfortunate result, but I don't feel like there is malicious intent or that the hit was dirty.
No, it's Zary that dramatically moves laterally, not the opposite. And you love that wiggle that he's got, but got caught by Hellison there.
What were you going to say, Retro?
I was going to say eventually we're going to have to stop watching this because it's not.
Yeah, it's not great.
No.
If you're
Something's
watching
wrong.
this show, you've probably seen that highlight.
Yeah, you've probably seen it. You probably don't need to see it anymore. There have been more gruesome visually hits and injuries in that, but not great.
That's as bendy as it gets in hockey, though, that way, right? Like you've seen, remember who's the QB? Alex Smith?
Oh.
Yeah, his knee got destroyed.
Nick Chubb 2 years ago was just
the Chubb one was bad.
Yeah.
But already word today sounding like there's not going to be any supplemental discipline for Drew Hellison on the hit, and I don't think there should be.
Yeah, if Zary gets up there somehow, I don't even know if it's a major, guys. Like, let's be honest.
He got 5 in a game for it, so that's probably time spent. No word. Of course, they're on the road. They're not going to come out immediately.
A lot of rice, Dean. They're going to have a lot of rice right now for Connor Zary.
Yeah.
Rice.
Rest, raise ice, elevation, some heat,
Ramen.
It's good too.
compression,
Ramen, ice, compression,
elevate, ice, and rub down, rub and tug. Is that what it is?
It's not. You can throw it in there,
Or do you just? Is it like when you dump your phone in the toilet? You put it in some rice. Is that what you do when you blow your knee out?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Just put your knee in the ice in the rice. Yeah.
Apparently, I should have put my computer in the rice.
Yeah.
She's all burned out, fellas.
Cooked.
Dunsey.
Feel bad for him.
Like
we talked about it last night. Feel bad for the mom on the mom's trip. The fun's over. Feel bad for the kid.
Don't be that dramatic. She can still go out and have a party. You're in LA.
By today, maybe, right? But at the time, you're in the game, and yay, we win. Yeah, yes, we win. It's my kid. They're gonna like
Kid's
how bad
here.
is it? Is he out for the year? Is that it? Is that? We'll know more soon. But because they're on the road, you're not going to get a lot of
feel
updates.
better. Home cooking.
Yeah,
it's
you're
good.
not going to get a whole lot in the way of hardcore updates for a little bit here. Safe to say, likely out of the lineup tonight.
Yeah.
Likely not going to go tonight.
Look at home with their doctors, and then probably this time tomorrow we'll have an update. It's unreasonable.
Maybe. Any other, again, because it feels like, because we did do this show last night, and it's a win on the road against a team that, should you beat them, they're very, it was an evenly matched game. I think the Flames probably deserved 2 points there. They had a couple they had 2 posts, crossbars. Sharangovich hit one, Kadri hit one.
Yeah.
Coronado sends that one right through the crease, and it somehow, as a goal scorer, I don't know how that one doesn't go in, but
that one in.
So the Flames take it. They move on. The Kings, I think, a bit of a different animal tonight. As get your helmets on. It's a game day, so it's Kings tonight. Get your chrome-plated Kings helmet on.
Are they chroming tonight?
I don't know. I'm not sure. They've won 4 in a row, points in 8 of their last 9. And they're getting good goaltending out of Darcy Kemper. They are getting solid play, as per usual, out of Andrzej Kopitar, 39 points in 38 games to lead them. Adrian Kempe has 19 goals to lead them in that department. They're a good team. There's some
kids.
Yeah, they got some good kids. Quentin Byfield's a kid. He's pretty good. Brant Clark is a kid. He's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Kopitar's old, but still pretty good.
LaFerriere had a nice start to the year. There's some players around.
Sure.
Arthur Kaliev, see you later. Don't need you.
Nah, don't need him.
You want to complain?
Hit the bricks.
I did want to note from last night, just because you said, do we have any thoughts there?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. Sharangovich was credited with 11 shot attempts. This is exactly what we've asked the man to do. And I noticed him, and I'm like, okay, don't get suckered in just because he hit a crossbar once. But he kept getting chances. Now, he couldn't put them in, but we've been asking the fella to get pucks to the net. Now, 7 of them were missed, and hitting a post counts as a miss, which feels cruel, but it's true. 3 were blocked. 1 hit the target. But keep shooting, please, because they're going to need you, and you're probably going to be playing center for a bit.
Bet 365.
Oh, geez. Well, 1 shot, that would
have. I think somebody submitted some picks today. I noticed in the chat somebody's taking part in the Bet 365. We talked. It was less than a month ago, maybe a month ago. We talked the same about Kuzmenko.
Yeah,
you have 1 goal. To score goals, you're probably going to have to shoot, and he was averaging between 0 and 1 shot a night.
Not enough.
Not how you get out of a slump. And the same holds true for Sharangovich, who has not been shooting the puck until last night.
11 shot attempts. Love it. Keep it going.
Shot attempts or shots on goal?
1 shot on net, 3 blocked.
I know I'm not asking for, but what are we? I think I'm happy with shot attempts.
Yeah, it's the process, right? I mean,
It's in your headspace.
He's not going to miss 7 of 11. It's just, an unfortunate night. Keep that many attempts, a lot more going to hit the net.
Keep attempting.
I'm attempting.
Attempting over here.
Attempt! There's an attempt. Is that a classic Rhett segment?
It is, yeah. That's a classic.
That's an attempt.
A lot of attempting over here.
Good attempt.
I'm going to attempt to make jambalaya tonight, Dean.
Are you?
Yeah, I finally got the ingredients put together.
What were you missing?
What kind of sausage did you go with?
Andouille.
Andouille.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's okay.
What do you mean?
It's all right.
Sausage? Andouille?
Sausage.
Darcy Kemper, 11-2 and I mean they're getting wins. The better play is coming from.
Are we
Darcy.
surprised by Kemper though? Like that was part of the Dubois trade.
He was a completely unnecessary part in Washington. Charlie Lindgren was great last year down the stretch. They played him into the playoffs, and it was like, we just paid this guy after he won a cup in Colorado. Like, what do we do with him? They turn him into Dubois, which certainly, fraught with risk, but it's worked well for both teams. Kemper's been solid for LA. Riddick probably fine as a backup in this league.
Oh, Dave, we miss you, buddy.
So that's a tandem that hasn't hurt him.
Just want to look at the
got rid of the problem child too. Goalie stats. What are you looking at?
Well, you've kind of thrown old Darcy Kemper under the bus there, that he was completely like he's forgot to play the position.
No.
He was saying that
Lindgren's young
too
and cheap
good
and was better than him. So it's like, why are we giving Darcy 4.5 or whatever he's making to play 30 games a year? Like, if he can start elsewhere, that's a move we should make, because Lindgren's our guy. That's the decision they made last year.
2.22 and a 920 save percentage.
Oh, this year.
Yeah, I mean it's
tidy.
It's a little. It's better than his career numbers, but it's not like it's something he's not done before.
Very good numbers.
It's from Saskatoon, Red.
I know, Dean. Big fan.
I know, Dean. I'm from there too.
Me too.
6'5".
Yeah, last year, Dean, 890 and a 331. He shaved the full goal off and had 30 points on his save percentage. It's a nice bounce back.
Did it get off the booze?
Vitamin D, Dean. No, he's not a drinker, isn't he?
Schnee?
He's a very straight shooter, I believe.
Oh, is that straight edge?
Yeah.
He's a teetotaler.
But he's also vitamin D, which you should up your intake, folks. It's the cold season. You don't get a lot of vitamin D up here in the north.
Barnburner reminds you to consult a physician before taking any of Rhett's advice, especially medical advice and pseudoscience. Thank you, Barnburner.
Oh, yeah. You were having vitamin B last night.
Yes. You want to tell people about that?
I left it there because I
did
responsible.
Yeah, you sure did. So that said, we'll see what they do in net tonight. Assuming they go to Dave or to the other Vladar. I was going to say Dave Riddick.
They'll go with Riddick. I think Kemper's playing too well.
I wonder if,
Vladar?
Yep.
It's the trend, isn't it?
So
we don't often see the same goalie on back-to-backs, but Rhett makes a good point. If you could give a guy a back-to-back and have someone else do the morning skates and give him a practice off, that's probably more of a move than most teams think it is.
You have 2 days between this game and the next. Again, it's against the Kings on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
You've had this everybody else is playing the same game. The guys who played last night, they're going to play tonight. Why is the goalie so different? Then you give the other goalie, you give somebody else all of a sudden an extended period of time off.
Yes.
In fact, it would be almost a week.
I think it's more important too, though, when you had a guy like Kemper or someone that was playing 70 games or a guy that's playing 60 games. These two guys are playing every other or splitting it basically down the middle anyway. So
are they tired?
Are they exhausted?
Are they Dave Cameron exhausted?
Yes. Well, we should call Dave and ask him.
Our team is exhausted and we've canceled our practices.
Is that your Dave Cameron?
I don't know. He's just dull. It's my dullest voice.
That's hurtful.
I regret nothing. That's hurtful. I'm a great coach. Just ask me. No one else.
Is that your Dave Cameron?
I don't know. It's just dull.
Okay. All right. Tell me about the Kings, Rhett.
They didn't hire me.
They got Kemper, who's real good.
Yeah.
They got Kopitar, who's real old, but
Yep.
real good. And they got
Yeah.
some kids that are coming. And I think they work pretty hard. I think they're a surprise team for me, to be honest with you. I mean,
Everyone
they
probably.
finished third the last 3 or 4 or 5 years in a row. Feels like them and Edmonton have had to play each other.
They're on a collision course again, man. If Vegas
Exactly.
wins
It
this division
totally. It's like
4
good
years
for
in a
you,
row.
LA. You're gonna get shit pumped in the first round again, but whatever.
That can go away. Sorry about
I,
that.
in the summer, Blake was gonna get fired. Everyone was like, "This is the word. What are we ever going to do?" And here they are. Like, it's 38 games, 51 points too. I think they're pretty good.
Pierre-Luc Dubois was going to get like 3 GMs fired for all the trades he was involved in,
Yeah.
and everyone's actually okay with the last deal.
Well, and this last one saved everybody.
Yes, Washington loves it. Look at this. We got our shutdown number 2 center. That's awesome. Kings are like, hey, this guy can play net. We got rid of the guy that no one liked.
How did he pull this off?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think the most intriguing part is Washington's interest, because they just said, like, we don't care about the noise. Look at his age and look what he's accomplished in this league. Because you can't take any of that away. None of that stuff that made him great was gone.
Because he just got they just overpaid him exorbitant pay raise for a guy who's got, I mean, sounds like he's a bit of a bad egg in the room. Guys don't like him in previous stops. He's wanted out, and it seems like the guys in the room have wanted him out, and the level of play certainly not where it should be for his abilities, and certainly not what you're paying him. And you managed to trade him for now a goalie who's got a 920 save percent.
Yes.
It's a masterclass of how to fuck it up, but totally redeem yourself by Rob Blake.
And Washington might be even happier about the deal. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I don't know that Rob Blake masterminded this. I think that Washington was going, we've got this goalie, we're paying too much money. What are we going to, I mean,
yeah, we're paying her back up 5 or whatever. And
we could really use an upgrade.
If you just averaged out what PLD had done in his career, was there a better buy low moment than last summer? Like, oh, we can get a 25 goal physical, big shutdown center. Like, of course,
that's easy to say right now.
Of course, it is.
There was absolutely no reason to believe that was going to go the right way.
No, I agree.
But Washington was in a weird spot too, right? Like,
they're trying to contend, but they're not young, but they're trying to get the OV record, but they need a little insulation at center because they just lost their top 2 centers the last couple of years because Kuznetsov and Backstrom disappeared. It's like they really need a center. If this guy bounces back, this is the steal of the century.
But boy,
to look guy in the room,
but to look at the guy he's overpaid, a malcontent, he's a powder, and guys don't like him.
Yeah, I don't know about the overpayment part, but there was clearly like the guy's not getting along in the rooms he's been in, right?
What's he getting paid?
The exact amount of guys should get paid for when he's in his young 20s putting up the numbers he did.
Yeah, no, I don't
think
you
are absolutely out to lunch on
I
this.
disagree a little bit.
Dean? If he's overpaid, what should he make and what does he make?
Come on, dude.
He was for the contract he got for the production he put up last year in LA was not.
No question. You
no one was trading for Pierre-Luc Dubois. No one was.
People were. You're misconstruing it.
But you're making it sound like, no, hey, this is a buy. This is a great. Oh, hey.
No, what I'm saying is
he'd been in Columbus, he'd been in Winnipeg, and he'd been in LA, and he was shitty in all 3 spots for the most part.
No.
Drew Doughty absolutely eviscerated him to the media and in the room. He was a hated guy there and was making way too much money.
What's way too much for him? He's making 8.5.
Yes.
Yeah.
8.5's a lot for what he's gonna.
Would you rather have him or Elias Pettersson right now? I know we're totally hindsighting this.
That's not the discussion. It's going back in time. If we were on this show, which we were, we'd have said no fucking thanks to Pierre-Luc Dubois in any respect. It'd be, well, how many firsts are they giving us to take him and that $8 million?
Yeah. No, I agree. And I'm not saying everyone should have been on this. What I'm saying is Washington had to be really, really thoughtful here to pull it off because everyone was scared shitless. It's a really scary bet to make, isn't it? He's got 7 years left.
It's an amazing deal.
Yes,
that's because it's been great for both sides, and both assets. They'd have been happy just to get rid of them almost for pennies on the dollar. Please take my backup goalie who's making too much. Please make this jerk center that nobody likes that we overpaid. It's worked out amazing.
Like everyone said, he's just shit in Winnipeg. His last 2 years, he scored 28 and 27 goals, 60 and 63 points. Like he was a very good player. He just wanted out. In LA, he clearly didn't get along with anyone. It's the 1 year where the production was dog shit. He's been a very good player most of his career.
Yeah, not to dig into personal life, but you wonder if LA is a different beast as well, right? Like,
yeah.
But 60 points, is that 8.5?
If you play the way he does, I think yes. If you were just
you're giving him too much credit. I don't.
No, he's a great defensive center, so that's why I think he's worth
maybe.
it. Yeah. I mean,
what other great defensive centers getting 8.5?
I mean, Kopitar has made 11 for years. No one.
Kopitar's leading the team in scoring.
Right, but
and
again, if
he's got cups and he's been there, he's the captain.
Yeah, I'm not saying he is Kopitar and he's making 11. I'm saying, like, if you're a top 2 center that shuts people down and can flirt with 30 goals, you're going to get paid in this league. He's in his prime. He's mid-20s.
So is he a shutdown or is he a top 2?
He's a defense first, but still can score 30. Ryan O'Reilly in his prime type guy, in my opinion.
O'Reilly's a nice
and so if O'Reilly was in his prime 30. Today, pardon me?
He's never scored 30.
No, but you don't think he will?
Like no, I don't. He's got 5 this year. I mean, we're into semantics a little bit.
Yeah, and again,
all I'm saying is you're Monday morning quarterbacking this a little bit to say, hey, the league crushed Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Yep. No, and I'm not suggesting they shouldn't have. Like we did, and for great reason. But really, the 1 year where it all fell apart was last year in LA. The season before, he was great for.
You need to talk to people who watched him in LA and watched him in Winnipeg. You can't just look at his box score and say, "Well, he had 20-some goals." It was his overall play.
Broken last year.
His give a shit meter. He was lazy.
Yep. I don't think anyone ever questioned the talent and ability. It was always what are you like? Can we handle your shitty attitude?
And that's the only reason I bring it up is because there are if you look at every player in this league coming off their worst year, and like today's the Kings. I watched Anze Kopitar, the worst year he ever had in his career. He had 12 goals, played almost a full season. And you're like, okay, he's probably just a third line center now. And I'm sure he's a great leader, but he's not a superstar anymore. And the next year he comes out and he rips 35. If you look at every single player in this league coming off their worst year of their career, you're like, they're no good anymore. It takes a really, really savvy manager.
We didn't talk about Dubois for a year, Ryan. We didn't crush Dubois for 1 season.
Okay, so we crushed him when he had 28 goals and 60 points in Winnipeg.
We crushed him in Columbus because he had to get out of Columbus. I'm not going to play hard. I got to get out of here. Okay, you're going to go to Winnipeg. Well, Winnipeg's no good to me. But it's not about its numbers. Again, you keep going back to the numbers. It was the attitude and the interaction with the people, the fans, the effort, nobody's.
You said the other day, maybe he thinks this is last call, and we finally got the hard-working version of himself.
The other question I have is that we're all sitting where? Western Canada, Alberta, and what do we look at as a reference point to how good Pierre-Luc Dubois is doing? We look at the Washington Capitals and the success they're having, and I'm not saying one thing or the other. He has 5 goals. I don't know how many points, and again,
31.
Maybe the box score is good. We don't know how it's going in that room. Yeah. Right? Like we're assuming shit, everything's great. They're top of the league. And it's like we're not that close to it, fellas. It's very possible that
if you're
on April, it's like, okay, we're sick of this guy too. Right. I'm not saying they will be, but we're a long way from Pierre-Luc Dubois and the frickin' Washington Capitals.
Yeah, there's 6.5 years left. The reports have been very good, just as Kemper's have been too. It's been a great change of scenery for both, clearly.
You look at their centers, not to go down this rabbit, Dylan Strome, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Connor McMichael, and then Nick Dowd.
Scrap heap first
round. I mean, right? They have
impressive.
That's an impressive piece of work there for McClellan, who I don't know felt like he was on his way out at any given point. Playing pretty well. They're doing amazing there, to be quite honest. So anyway, moving on going back to yesterday's conversation. Keeping the Dubois thing in mind. Trevor Zegras.
That's why I bring it up.
There's a guy who's young,
skilled, And you
what is he in the room? Do the guys like him? Is he this? Is he that? Is he overpaid? What's that whole thing? He's a young center who's scored 20 plus goals a couple of times in the league and is potentially available. Is this a
Yeah. So like
example?
you're Craig Conroy, you've said we want to find a center so badly, someone young, right? No one that's got a great attitude and playing well will be available. Period. Stop. And so that's why it's an interesting case study, Dubois. Like, did Washington have any clue, or were they just trying to dump Kemper and maybe there's a 1 in 10 chance it works? Like, I don't know. It didn't look good at all last year, but all the skills that allowed Trevor Zegras to be great when he was 20 and 21 in this league are still there. Just like with Pierre-Luc Dubois. Yeah. So do you have the right kind of staff that can insulate the player, the right kind of leadership group that can bring a guy in? It clearly got off on the wrong foot with him in LA. And I think about James Neal in Calgary, like what he famously shaved Johnny's head when he was sleeping on the bus in China. And it was like, no, you're not on his line and you can't check. So now you're a third liner. And next thing you know, you're trading him for Milan Lucic's albatross contract. Like, it was done that quick.
Famously?
No, it is now.
Well, yeah, because
I think it's long enough has passed that, yeah, he got off on the wrong foot and it was like, see ya.
You ever shave a guy's head? Right.
I think we shaved our heads. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't sound like that was a team thing.
Oh, yeah.
You'll bleach blonde for the turn.
Oh, when you're sleeping. Anywho.
A little buzz in the back of the head. Didn't like that. Oh,
yeah.
Pick him up. Come on, Conroy. Do some. Zary's out.
Well, so is Zegras, to be fair. He's got a knee injury.
Yeah. And he doesn't fit the age profile, I don't think, in the sense that, like, he's going to be at UFA when you're about to get good.
Who's Zegs?
Yeah.
I don't think, again, I don't think you can focus too much on the age thing.
Really? That's all Connie's talked about.
If you keep waiting, but it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen where you have everybody in the perfect bubble.
No one's saying perfect. You're always going to have guys of different ages, but when your core has some young players in it, not fossils, then you supplement with UFAs.
Okay, for us laymen, explain what you're talking about. Zegras is a young centerman that you're trying to pick up on the, like you said, will he turn out? I don't know, but not
let's
very
say we
often
all want
they
him,
available.
Right? Yeah, let's say you want to bet on him. I believe he's an RFA with Arbrights in a year.
Well, he's 23. You make it sound like
I'm not saying he's old. Let me finish here. So my point is that in 2 years, he'll make a decision. Am I going to stay in Calgary or not? And I don't think adding Trevor Zegras makes you good. So it's going to be 2 years in a Canadian market for an American on a team that's not competitive. I'm like, well, I just might rather be somewhere else. Whereas if you bring the same Zegras guy in 2 years, he's like, holy shit, this Zane Parrott kid's looking unreal in his second year, and these young kids are scoring all over. Hanzik, Basha, Gridden. No, they're not all going to pop Dino. No one's saying all these prospects are going to make it, but at least you've got a base and a core, and you look around like Brady Tkachuk probably did in Ottawa, and you say, you know what? There's enough here as an American. I will commit long term.
So Zegras
I don't think if you bring Zegras in for 2 years, he sees that because they're not here yet.
Okay, but so there is that.
That's the only point.
Okay, so it's not so much about age; it's about contract.
Contract plays a big role.
Because if Zegras is 23 and Parrick is 18 or 19, can Parrick be 20 and Zegras
Parrick
be 28?
Has to look like a good NHLer for Zegras to care about him. He doesn't care about a kid playing in the O.
But when you talk about age, it's just like 4 years. That
what I'm talking about is the amount of time it takes for the Calgary Flames to actually be a contender with their young players, not based on the play of Weegar and Anderson and Backlund and Kadri. They're not there yet. Their best players, one of them's under 25. Well, two if you count the goal.
Then you'd have Zegras under 25. He would be part of that base of young players that you're looking to have.
But the other guys aren't there yet. I mean, what are you expecting out of rookie years from guys? Like it takes 2-3 years for guys to figure out how to.
So who is the core then? I mean,
I would say in 3 or 4 years, a group of these players will be your core. Maybe it's Hanzik, maybe it's Gridden, maybe it's Basha, maybe it should be Parrick. And out of those 5 guys, if 2 or 3 reach their ceiling, you're talking about top half of the roster players to add to Connor Zary, to add to a Marty Pospisil who's playing down the lineup, to add to Dustin Wolf who's in his prime and under contract.
And why
they don't have a young team. They're not young. Like the challenge is that a lot of the reason they're good, the guys in 3 years won't be that good anymore. Like, what do you expect out of Nazem Kadri when he's 37?
But a 23-year-old will be 26 in 3 years, right? Just so I know that, just right? Like, if you were to add a 23-year-old today,
but
you make it sound like he's going to be over the hill by the time
he could just be
the
gone.
team is good.
He could be a UFA. Like, you're missing my point.
So you can't get guys. So they need you can't get the contracts. Your I don't know how you're going to get anything done. All you can do is draft players and then hope they work out.
No, you have to be patient. It's not the time to add, is what I'm saying. If you went and added Marty Natchez last year, you'd say, okay, I'll sign the 2-year deal. I just signed to Carolina. Then I'm out of here. You're not good enough yet. You add those guys that are in their prime once there's something to build upon. The foundation hasn't been laid yet. They're less than a year into this rebuild. When did they trade Lindholm, Tanev, and Hanifin? That's when this started in earnest. And now we're already talking about adding guys?
Yeah, but it's a unique situation. It's just like
not adding a 30-year-old though. It's adding someone who you're.
No, it's adding a guy that's under team control for 2 more years.
Well, what if he comes out and here he does like and he has success and you're basically saying he's going to refuse to.
No, I'm just saying the timeline doesn't fit for me in terms of when I think this team's going to be competitive. I would put everything around that clock of 2027 when that new rink opens. And that's when you want to have a good, solid, young foundation of players that are in your core, and then you can add veterans to that.
You can also
take in their prime.
I don't know. I'm not saying that you should go get. And I don't have a clue what the price would be. And some of those guys that you're talking about they might be part of the package that has to go back the other way. So blah, 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 blah. But if you get the sense, if you traded for him and the deal makes sense for both teams, and he comes out here as a 23-year-old and you play the shit out of him and he's scoring 30 goals a year and he's very talented and your power plays better and your team is somewhat competitive, he won't re-sign. And if you find that out, you can trade him then as a higher.
Is the goal to be 7th in the West or win a cup?
What's their approach this year though? Like
no, and I'm not saying like here's a trivia question answer it. It's like if you just want to get into the playoffs, Trevor Zegras helps you. If you want a cup, it does not help. I don't think
so. He's 23 years old.
He helps you get guys that are high. They need to draft high to win a cup. Period. Stop.
I think that you're being too flippant about that. If he does come and help your team get into playoffs, that's a great thing. Like they're in that position right now.
So what would you rather have?
He's still only 23
picks or Trevor Zegras?
Sorry, I was talking when you what?
I just think my vision of how you make this team competitive for a long time and a cup contender, not just a team that gets in and bows out in the first round and we call that a good year, is you're actually going to have to draft in the top 5 multiple times in the next few years. Trevor Zegras coming in hurts that plan. If your idea is, hey, we can still win with Uyghur and we're not going to trade Anderson and we're going to keep Cotter to the end of his deal and we've already got Huberdeau and you just want to get in and not win cups, bring in Trevor Zegras tomorrow. That'll check the box for you.
The only reason that I talk about Zegras is I feel he has skill level beyond anything you have.
Yep.
In the franchise, an ability to get a guy who's a center, a position of need, who has shown world-class skill. And there's no guarantee you can draft that regardless of where you pick. That's all it is. He's American, he's an American. So do Americans want to stay? He's got 2 years left. So there is all of that, but to me, it's just about using your draft capital, your equity to get skill.
So let's say it costs a first and one of your top 5 prospects. Do you do it? I have no interest in that price.
I mean,
okay, that's fine. But let's just go back 2 years and go, so if that first is Sam Honzik, would you do it? Playing it forward. So 2 years out from now, you didn't make this deal. You kept your guys, the guy you have already drafted, whatever. And that draft pack turns out to be a guy like Samuel Honzik. Then what?
Well, I mean, you don't know what you're getting into. You'd rather have Zegras than Honzik 100% right now today. But on the draft floor, Connie would probably say the opposite. So you don't have the.
I know, but the reality, I'm asking you, and it sounds like we're taking again cheap shots at Honzik, but there is the fact that this team has as much opportunity to draft 13th as they do 5th. And at that point,
they're not going to pick 13. They'll be giving that pick to Montreal. They'll be picking
Well,
You know what he's
24.
saying, though.
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, Ryan? Like, you
No, it's
always,
even worse, though. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, like that's the point is that, oh, great, you want a top 5? Then they shouldn't keep Uyghur or any of these.
They should trade Anderson.
They
That's
should
what they
trade Anderson yesterday.
Or at the
That's
deadline.
not
Yeah.
going to be the approach they take. That's your
But you
approach.
would, Ryan. Like
I-
you want to bottom right out trade, get as bad as possible.
Not
now.
as bad as possible, but at least be very good at asset management. Like,
Who
here's
are
the
the-
thing that makes
But you're
Rasmus-
talking about picking
Hang on.
top 5, so that's bad. You're talking about getting.
Yeah. I'm not saying you need to be a decade of finishing last, but be
that's the risk.
tactical when you have an opportunity to. And so Rasmus Anderson making $4.55 million, that's amazing for most teams, right? If you could have that player at that number, it's not a hard question. Yeah, okay. So Rasmus Anderson making $4.55 million for the Calgary Flames does fuck all. They have $20 million in cap space. And so by holding him here for 2 years at a huge value, it gives them no benefit compared to what it would mean to a Dallas, a Toronto, a Vancouver, a New York, any contender. There's like 6 or 7 teams that aren't capped out. He would be so valuable to those teams compared to what he is for the Calgary Flames because he can do it at a rate they couldn't afford to bring a guy in to do.
If you spent $20 million more on your roster, would that change your opinion?
On this roster?
Yeah. If
Of
you
course,
went
the
and got
Flames are capped out.
Dubois,
I love the
like
number.
you could have went, I'm sure the Flames could have went and got Dubois,
Yeah.
right? In the summer. Again, I think they're stuck somewhere where they didn't think they were going to be.
Agreed.
I think if you go back, my take on things is basically the same as yours, but I don't think that's the reality of how this team is going to operate.
I agree with that.
And
I
they
think the
have
owner
you-
probably wants to
And
keep
you
him.
saying they've
Yeah.
got 20 million in cap space could be, you could turn that around and go, Conroy, what the F are you doing? You're a couple points out of a playoff spot. Go
Mhm.
spend that 20 effing million and bring in some difference makers.
Yeah, and that would be falling into the traps of all the failures they've had in the last 20 years, but it might be something the owner wants them to do. The other thing is you don't get to keep it for next year. So if you're not eating bad contracts with that 20 million, it's a completely wasted opportunity. If you don't take on, like,
If
who
you're
was
not,
it?
yes,
Like,
it's-
take on some bad deals. Help the Rangers with a shitty contract. Like, Trouba had 2 years left. What,
That
could you
I
get
agree
an
with.
asset for him?
I-
What's that?
It's the one thing that I think Connie's done a good job, and I don't know if his hands to a certain extent are tied, but it feels like there have been other teams who have taken on arduous contracts
Arizona did
and
it for
gotten
5 years.
paid
Yeah,
to do
kept
so.
seconds.
Already today, word out of Pittsburgh is there's players available, and if you're looking to offload a contract that's onerous to you, we would be open to that as well. That's what I want to hear from the Flames. Is we're open
Yes.
for business.
because they're not doing either.
My fear is that it was so noisy last year. Craig's afraid to do anything right now. And I don't think that's the case. It's my fear. But if you don't sell Anderson at the deadline, his value will never be this high again. You're selling 2 playoff runs and a guy making half of his market value or something like that. That would be a missed opportunity if he ends up not staying anyway, or if you're just not good when you do keep him. And the other one is that this cap space, like,
Yes.
turn it into picks.
Well, you have to do one or the other, do you not? And I know that
If
we
you
talked about
should,
it
I
6
fear they
weeks-
might not.
6
the
weeks
owner's
ago,
like,
I was like, go and get a number one. Like, it's easy to say and do, blah, 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 or easy to say not to do. But that cap space is such a wasted opportunity one way or the other. You can't tell me that you wouldn't have been, if you couldn't have gone and signed someone that would have helped score a couple more goals this year to give you another 5, 6, 7 points to get you in that play. Maybe not even the full 20 million, but 20 million should buy you what, 5 to 10 points in the regular season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
and
That's a
I
fifth
think
of your
maybe-
salary.
I don't mind them having the 20 million right now.
I don't either, but they're not using it for anything.
Yeah, use it to be good or use it to be
Right.
bad
So-
and get better.
How many deals have we seen around the league this year? Like, not a ton. All the deals happen at the deadline. If you can use this 20 million between the now and the deadline, there's no fault here. But if you get past the deadline and you got 20 million bucks still sitting there, it may as well just be like flushing a couple seconds in a third.
20 million bucks sitting there that hasn't helped you be bad or put you into a better playoff situation.
It has not made you
have wasted.
Not a better roster, nor allowed you to use it to pick up cap or young players.
I'll say
Any
this.
team with a bad contract, we'll bring them in, take a prospect with them. They haven't done it.
Craig knows, right?
Yeah, he knows.
He knows, and he wants to. My sense would be, like you say, there's just not a lot of deals. There's some deals, but until you get closer to it, teams you're not going to get your best deal, that whole thing, the pressure points and all of that. A team's maybe not going to give you what you want to take on salary. The question needs to be and I don't know why they wouldn't be, but is ownership okay with it? You're a cap team pretty much every year, and sometimes you make the playoffs and sometimes you don't. Why not be a cap team this year and get some assets for it? It's not like you're suddenly 1 year overspending or spending lavishly. You do it all the time.
Take on some bad money, get some picks.
So, I mean, I do. Conroy's talking to people. He's out there. He's looking for those deals, but nothing. There's no real desperation until you get closer to the deadline.
It doesn't matter they're not using it now. It just has to be getting used by the deadline. That's all it is. Go be a banker. Eat half the money, take a third, pass the player to the next team.
Yes and no, but Conroy should have an answer from the owner. Am I going to be allowed to chew on some shitty contracts?
Yeah.
Or am I allowed to go add something? Because if you get to the trade deadline and you knew damn well you weren't allowed to eat bad money, then you've wasted that space.
100%.
Like it's all fine and good for us to say, well, we'll know at the deadline. Sure. But Conroy should know now.
I think he probably does too. Yeah.
I think he does.
We got a huge super chat, Jack saying, coming in like monster.
I know.
Almost on topic. You can see more than I can see, Dean.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Yeah, we can do it. A little super chat for
U Centers of Calgary.
For the U Centers of Calgary. Let's see it. Let's check this out. This is a record. I don't think we've ever had a hundo.
Jeez.
Handsome Dan's Vacation Rentals, $100 coming in. Going to donate $100 for every Wolf win in 2025. $300 for every shutout. Maybe they will play the kid more then. Come on, Huska. It's for charity.
Huska.
Boy, Handsome Dan. That's very nice. Well done.
So before the game against the Ducks, I think they were even, like 19 starts each or something like that. It was in the last week or so. They had the exact same number of starts. Did that surprise you when you heard that? Because I was like, oh no, Wolf's taken over, but it was still even number of games.
No, because it was so short-lived. We talked about it last night. Well, there goes the Calder talk and all this. It was a couple of bad starts, and since then it's been. If you pay attention, watch all the time, then yeah, it's probably not shocking because there's been a few times where we thought it'd be Wolf and Vladar's come out to play. So
his numbers are significantly better, and the workload difficulties very overstated in the terms of expected goals. He's actually had the harder workload. 914 versus 888. 2.6 versus 3.08. Don't be afraid to ride the better goalie, guys. Unless this is part of a secret tanky program that we haven't seen.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I don't get
There's a secret tank program you're about to unleash on us. I'm okay with all this.
It's very quiet if it is there. It'd be a very sneaky program if it is.
Second half of the year. Still got one more game till we get there.
We talked about it last night, not on the show, but the Wolf start last night, because there have been some people critical, maybe is the word, that some softer starts for Wolf instead of Vladar. Vladar is getting the back half of back-to-back games instead of the first half. If he plays tonight, that'll be the case again. Going with Wolf last night, is that softer opponent for the younger goalie? Is that weaker opponent conceivably are the Ducks? Let's make sure we get the win there as opposed to playing Wolf against the Kings, because yeah, the numbers for Wolf are better. Any thoughts there, Red, as how the workload is going to be laid out here in this back-to-back?
No, I think shutouts get you the next game, and everyone out they should play every other game.
You don't want to see more Wolf than Vladar the rest of the way?
You just said we're not dying to make the playoffs. And you want to stack up as much collateral as possible, draft picks. Vladar is a piece that if he plays and he plays well, you still might be able to turn into something. March or the trade deadline is still a ways out. He rattles off 5 wins and starts to perform. He's an asset to move. Why do you want to give up on that now?
I'm just asking.
So
I
that
think
Wolf gets an extra 7-8 games. Like, we know Wolf is the heir to the throne. And if he's going to continue to play well, it looks like it's going to be a great opportunity for the city and for Dustin Wolf and the organization. So why would it be? But what's Vladar if you just start sitting him?
No, it's a good point. You're trying to manage an asset there. Like everyone says, no one needs a goalie. Well, yeah, until someone injures their goalie.
Until someone wants a damn goalie.
Yeah, Ottawa's now looking for a goalie because Ullmark's week to week. Like, you don't know what the market's going to be in March. There's no, the market's gone. No. What his value today means F all. His value in March 1 to 9 is what matters. And if he's playing well, and then you get Cooley up, now you can see a lot more Wolf if you want. Or if you're really close to top 6 or something, like, hey, Cooley, go on a run.
And even if you take Vladar out of the equation, and if you just look at Wolf and his maturation, you wanted to get him into the NHL full time, you did. Last year, he got 17 games. This year, he's up to 21. If you prorate that, we're at the midway point. If he's going to get 40 starts, that's how you bring a guy into the league. And you're right. It's not about winning.
Yeah.
The main concern is don't let this kid get obliterated by shots and have his numbers destroyed.
Yes, you don't want his confidence into
so I mean, it's been
that ain't happening.
Yeah.
If you move Vladar at the deadline and return great or not aside, it's going to be, I think, hard for Wolf not to get 50 starts if he's healthy.
Well, yeah, he's 21 at this point. So
and they're at half after tonight. So he's on pace for 42 to 44. If you move Vladar, you don't need to see, 10 of the last 20 being Cooley unless you want to. He's already under contract next year anyway. You've kind of slotted him in to be your backup next year.
Yeah. So we'll see. Likely a Vladar go tonight, but who's to say?
And it was Wolf played the home game against LA. He almost shut him out. He had that incredible save that ended up getting overturned and called a goal. It was the only thing past him.
Kings tonight. Kings again on the weekend. It's a lot of Kings.
A lot of Blues next week.
Expecting O'Connor Zary tonight. Bummer.
Walker Duro come back in.
Walker Duro.
Is there anyone else they could play at center? Or is it pretty much Sharangovich? Because I don't know if they want to take Pospisil off that top line. It's been much better back on the wing.
Yeah, I don't think it hurts Sharangovich to go have a try at something else. It might be just enough of a change of pace and scenery for some things to open up for him. Like we're talking about sitting him in the frickin' stands. Well, maybe this is a better move.
Yeah.
11 shot attempts. Yeah. I'll take last night's effort again.
Yeah. And I'm with you. Pospisil's kind of fit in well on that side with that line. That line's been good.
Scored another 2 last night.
Yeah.
You don't get to 4. That's a lot of goals for one line.
We were talking about the Mod Medical Clinic. Was that before the show started? Or was that where we already did we go?
No,
start. Is that the pre-show?
I can't remember. It's odd. The pre-show is very similar. So what's the show really like? It's exactly what you think of it. Exactly.
Even stupider.
Bearoused.ca. It's the Mod Medical Clinic. If you're a man, where is it here? I wanted to. They call it Bocox, Ryan. Is that what you got?
Bocox. Have not yet.
Not yet.
Bocox.
Where did he
Heard
go?
about it.
You know what? I could tell he was distracted when we were talking. He was on his phone, and we asked him about the goaltending thing. And he had one of these going.
No.
Yeah. Bearoused.ca. If you're a man like we are, things happen as you age. Things happen just in general. Maybe there's an injury that you sustain. Maybe there's something that isn't the way it should be. Don't accept it. Don't just say, well, it's kind of, I guess that's the way it goes. Not the way it necessarily has to be. Find out more with the Mod Medical Clinic, experts in the field of men's health, sexual function, incontinence, all of it. If you're going to the bathroom all the time, you're getting up multiple times in the middle of the night to do so. You needed to take a pill when the time comes to be in the bedroom. It's not necessarily the way that you got to be doing things. If you're popping that pill, consider a non-medication approach like Viasure. It works on muscle function, breaks down scar tissue, reforms blood vessels, No pain, no downtime, covered with extended health benefits. With pelvic floor physio, the Aroused team will help men with that incontinence with sexual performance, hip and lower back pain, the stabilization of the core. They have it's cutting edge technology, it's cutting edge research, it's science that's going to help you get to where you want to be. Maybe where you once were, you can be there again. There's different, we talk about Botox. It's essentially Botox for the penis. Well, I mean, find out more. Basically, what we're doing, sounds we're being kind of cheeky, just removing the taboo about sexual health and talking about it. Speak about it, talk about it. Knowledge is power. The more comfortable you are to discuss it, the more comfortable you are to get help for it. And why wouldn't you when you have some of the very best, like we say, cutting edge in our city? The Mod Medical Clinic, bearoused.ca.
Got a sore knee, see the doctor. Your eyes are bugging you? What? This isn't any different.
It's no different.
Talk to the experts.
No different.
Where'd he go? What?
I mean,
he's been working the horn the last few days. I don't know if you noticed that.
I mean, it
sounds like a GM of a Western League team here at the deadline. Like
it's not prep.
No, it's not about this show. No.
What was he talking? Buying land in Switzerland or something? Wasn't that he talked about the other day?
Tax havens. I don't know. Yeah.
Where you could buy a house for land for it's It's an interesting world. It's an interesting world.
Italy, wasn't it Italy?
Was it Italy?
Yeah, he's cooked up some weird scheme where he thinks it's cheap to buy land in Italy. I'm not convinced that's not a Sierra Leone prince giving him money if he just gives him his banking info.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a legit story. It's the Nigerian millionaire prince, right? Just give him the banking. Be happy to share some.
Sure.
In a pinch.
Yeah. We'll get to the Pinder Report. It's a presentation of Village Honda. New in-stock inventory 2025. It's a new year. They've had the 25s for a while, but now they've got more of them. The line, you've got the Accord, the Ridgeline, the Passport, all of them, the 2025s are coming in. And there's nothing like having a brand new, that smell. You don't get that in your 2010.
No.
I make no mistake. There's some smells in there.
Yeah, different.
None of them you want.
That old truck you had some interesting. What was that? 3-year-old cheeseburger?
There was some stuff.
Yeah. Get the smells you want at Village Honda, your dealership for life, located in the Northwest Autumn.
Pinder.
And the Pinder Report.
Let's head over to Flames Nation, fellas, and see what everyone's talking about. There it is. Flames get deserved bounce in overtime to defeat Anaheim. Attaboy Flash. Keep us busy there. And more information on Andrew Basha, who will be out long-term with a lower body injury, one of the Flames' top prospects, been dealing with some lingering health issues. It sounds like from last season, potentially this year, and sounds like the path forward is get the surgery, get things right, and if the Tigers can make a deep run, maybe a return this year. Otherwise, be ready for your NHL camp next year, young man.
High hopes for that fella.
Really like the way he played. He really stunned me in Penticton. That was the guy where I was left. You read scouting reports. I hadn't seen him play. It all makes sense now. High pace, high IQ, just great skill player.
Go ahead.
I'm excited for him.
The old Tigers are for being we're going to win it all, and they're going all in. There's a few injuries down there for the old.
Lindstrom's been hurt all year, the 4th overall pick for the Blue Jackets. It's been a tough go for them.
Byron Ritchie's boy was out with the broken face.
Is Reginald's kid still down there?
No, he got traded.
Get swapped out to PG or something?
Mm-hmm.
Keep your spirits up, Andrew Basha.
Yeah, good kid.
We're with you.
Patience, young man. It's coming. Let's get to the pike bomb of the day, Dean, please.
Oh, geez, I get a little bit.
Pike bomb, pike bomb. It's a pike bomb. Pike bomb, baby, big pike bomb, pike bomb, pike bomb. It's a pike bomb. Get ready for a big pike bomb.
Everyone wants the update on Connor Zary, and Pike's got the details. Well, hey, they got an extra forward. His name's Buccaneer. And they're going to be back in town, like probably 3 a.m. tonight. And they'll have their own medical people that Connor Zary can speak to, and they can look at all kinds of imaging and things like that. So probably a reasonable expectation to get some more information tomorrow once the Flames return. That is the Pike on the Zary situation. We've shown you the hit. It's an ugly situation in terms of the injury. He's probably the most silver lining story of the year, or maybe second behind Wolf. But young players turning into really good NHLers is what this whole process we argue about every day is about. He's a guy that's made major strides in the last calendar 2 years. From like, is he a failed prospect now to, wow, he's our most dangerous offensive player at times.
Yeah.
And he's playing center. We need centers. Tough.
Not ideal, Dean.
Not ideal.
But you know
not a
what?
lost season because there's been good development. Like you say, he's made the move to center. And if it is kind of one of those long-term deals, stinks. But you're encouraged by what you've seen to this point because the growth has been steady.
And in these trying times where something bad happens, we often have to lean on those around us that can give us perspective and remind us it's always darkest before dawn, Dean.
Let me tell you something, right? Sometimes the worst things that happen in your life will put you directly in the path of the best thing that will ever happen in your life. So don't forget that shit, you heard?
Bashik, Connor Zary, you remember that, all right?
Very timely. You know what?
Hey,
I feel a lot better now.
right?
You heard?
Trust that guy. Who do you trust?
Not easy to do, to just, slam a microwave
your
door.
neck could be right out of whack, Dino.
In order to be that positive, Dean, he really found a way to overcome. Standings. Let's take a peek. 2 points gained. That's a mixed bag of feelings for the Flames fan base. They're back into a tie with the Canucks, who hold a game in hand in the final wild card in the West. St. Louis twice next week. That'll be interesting. You got a Chicago team that's very bad next Monday. They got 2 against the Kings in a row. You see them. They've got 2 games in hand on the Oilers, 2 points back. By points percentage, they're second in the Pacific. Big games for the Kings. All right.
Now,
LA, Chicago, St. Louis, St. Louis.
This was in the pre-show. Are you going to talk about the Vancouver development?
Yeah, big news for Vancouver today. They're in action. Elias Pettersson is a game-time decision. Forbort, a game-time decision, which is important because they've been missing a lot of D. They just got Quinn Hughes back. Demko, apparently very close to returning after the back issues. All of a sudden, and Phil Peronik's been assigned to Abbotsford, their AHL team, for conditioning. Yeah. All those things we talked about that are going wrong in Canuckland, if they can just get JT Miller and Elias Pettersson to get along,
yeah, kumbaya there. Can you,
sorry, Jack, out there, they should be able.
Can you throw the standings back up there, Jack? Because you look at it, and I hate, sorry to do that to you, once you move past it, but you look where Colorado is. I mean, they're well ahead. And if Vancouver starts to get some traction, and you've been kind of talking about it, Ryan, so yeah, they're right there at the wild card spot, but they're also not striking distance to a much lower seed is within the realm of possibility as well. I guess what I'm saying is, if Vancouver starts piling it up here, and we've talked about the month ahead, there's a couple against the Jets, and you've got the Kings here twice, you got the Wild coming up. There's some tough opponents for the Flames.
Washington.
We could learn a lot about this team in the next 3.5 weeks as we get into February.
You said that about Christmas.
I did say that about, was that last
gauntlet run? The gauntlet run.
Talk to me, but talk to me then.
It'll all make sense.
Talk to me now. Talk to me then.
Now, Jack, before we get to the Kings lineup, we were just mentioning the Canucks, so let's stay on topic and jump to our next item. Canucks fans, it feels like you got to have a side. Very passionate fan base. Are you on Team Pettersson or Team Miller? They've gone to the streets to get some information.
Miller and Petey are beefing. It's annoying. I think Miller is the toxic one here. He was toxic on Tampa Bay. He was toxic with New York. He's toxic with Vancouver. Pissing me off. He can't get the respect of his teammates.
If you would have to trade one player, who would it be?
It's the older fucking centerman who can't score even strength. JT Miller, get the fuck out of my team.
Fuck Miller!
Wow.
They're heated.
So JT Miller took some time away, did he? I'm just gonna need a couple weeks.
I went for apples today. I can't do this.
I can't do this.
No.
I
shit.
went for
It's too
apples.
much.
Yeah, I went to
Yeah,
Trader
there's parallel
Joe's.
parking and
Can't
someone-
friggin' do it.
It's hot out
What a
there.
town.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's good.
I hope Rhett's preseason prognostication comes true. I don't even know if he remembers, but I will never forget it because it comes so close to my heart. Canucks will beat the Oilers in the playoffs this year.
Yes, that's right.
Rhett's prognostication. Can't argue with the Oracle.
No.
Let it be, hockey gods.
Wouldn't
Let
have
it be.
seen the Miller Peterson.
Look, they just got to kumbaya this thing, and they're great. Let's look at the Kings lineup.
What about karaoke? Would that do it?
I hope so. There's lots of karaoke joints on the
But
van.
some people hate it.
Mix.
I bet Miller hates.
I was going to
karaoke.
say one of them hates it. I bet you
Petey be all right with it?
Fishing?
Oh, that's stupid.
Good
That's for
fishing out on
losers.
the island. We'll go fishing, get on a boat together. You can't get away from each other.
Bet you Miller likes fishing, but Patterson doesn't.
He's a
All we do is
sweet.
stand around.
But you know what though? There's nowhere to go. And if like Patterson, if he's talking and Miller's like a hardcore fisherman, be like, shut the fuck up. We're fishing. Our lines are in the water. Would you just stop? Well, can we put some music on? No, we can't play any fucking music. We're fishing. You
If you
idiot.
go York one more time, I'm going to wallop you and throw you.
Stop banging the boat. You're making noise. You're scaring the fish. We got
You
jeez.
can only play Don Williams when you're salmon fishing.
If you want to, no matter what scenario you put them in,
One of these.
Pedersen's pissing off JT Miller. That'd be a good bit.
It's like the
JT Miller and Elias Pedersen go ballroom dancing. Stop tapping on my fucking toes.
Snorkeling.
two-stepping.
Whatever
Change a light bulb.
team
Things-
bonding thing that you put in front of them to do. Miller's just constantly sour with Pitt.
Peter, you're holding that bowling ball wrong. It's using the wrong fingers. I told you it's 10 pin. I'm an American. Listen to me. We invented it.
What are we, 5 pin? God damn it, Petey.
Just everything. Kings have been a surprise. Let's look at how they line up without Drew Doughty, guys. All this without Drew Doughty. It's actually been pretty impressive. Now, he doesn't usually play in the forward, so we'll just take a look at this. Kopitar, Byfield, Deneau has always been the 1, 2, 3 down the middle. If you know you got to play the Oilers in the playoffs every year, probably a spot you want to be good. Been a very strong season from Quentin Byfield, especially of late after a slower start. Kemper is a killer. Love him. Fogle, the former Oilers, actually quietly had a pretty solid year. Fiala, Laferriere on the third line, and the 1,000-game man, Trevor Lewis, down the middle on the fourth line with tough guy Andreas Englund. And also tough guy, but everyone thought he was going to be a top 6 and a tough guy, Tanner Jeannot, who they got after Tampa gave up a first, a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth for him. They got him for much less.
I got 2 Trevors there.
Trevor!
How many teams can boast that claim? You know?
Trevor. Not a lot.
I wouldn't think so.
I was talking to Trev, but I didn't know.
Zegras in there.
I've not heard that Trevor's name much lately.
Lyndon,
Yeah.
busy working out and being a
Cycling.
businessman out there.
Well, I had those people in Vancouver. They were yelling his name. He's like, I'm out. See ya. Some chick in earmuffs was giving me the business. I'm staying out of the limelight. I got plenty of money. F this.
Here's the blue line. Defensive stalwart Mikey Anderson, who's not big but great defensively, with Vladislav Gavrikov. They brought him in from Columbus with Korpisalo for a first plus, if I recall correctly. Edmondson and Clark, the second pair. Clark's phenomenal young player that's just starting to establish himself as a
Pick him
regular
up.
in the league. Moveral. Doesn't that sound like some sort of a European buffet? Oh, we head to the Moveral and get the bite before we go disco
maybe.
I
dancing.
was thinking F1 racing.
Moveral. And then Jordan Spence on the right side of the third pair. Doughty will slide in there at some point, which will help a ton. He's on IR, as you can see. Kemper and Rittich. Big save, Dave. It's your tandem. NHL tonight. Not as busy as last night, Dean. Very busy last night.
Oh.
Washington against maybe a hopeful Canucks group with some potential returnees. Or maybe they haven't arrived yet. Game time decisions. We'll see. Avalanche at Chicago. They're minus $1 billion in that one. It's been pretty solid since Scott Wedgwood and Mackenzie Blackwood have come in. The Wood brothers. The Woods.
Yeah. One of them got hurt, eh? Is that right?
Yeah, Scott did.
Yeah.
He got run into and the head coach lost his mind. He was not happy they didn't blow it down. It
The
was-
Sabres, they play rough and tough.
Of
They're a
course, yeah,
rough and tumble
they're bullies.
squad.
Panthers and hockey club, and then the
Club.
Kings and Flames and nightcap.
10:30.
Yeah, you in Buffalo, you wouldn't have made it through the first.
It's late.
Like,
Hey, Rod, what'd you think about that hit? Well, the 10-minute highlight packs don't have hits, so why
they
don't you
don't
guys tell me about the hit?
Yeah.
Let's show it first, and then I'll.
Yeah, I mean, just,
Remind me with some video evidence of this hit that you
let's
see
just
here.
watch it together one more time.
Yeah. As a group.
Football elimination style starts this weekend. It is the NFL postseason wild card weekend. Jake Kuda, all he does is draw bangers. Are you going to win the Super Bowl? Nah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Factually accurate, that one.
Yeah. Some people suggesting, no. That team on the right is a hard no. You're mistaken, Jay. But I believe he is right.
There's a maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, congrats to the maybes.
Hey, Jack. Super Bowl for the Steelers this year?
Maybe.
There you go. We found that out yesterday when we were watching the game. That was it yesterday, or the day before? Jack was very down on his Steelers, but he told us last night. He was like, I'm kind of coming around a little bit.
He watched the microwave head.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
Coming around.
Darkest before dawn.
There's a little Russell Wilson video that dropped this morning after the game the other night. And Cam Hayward's walking off the field. He's all pissed off and he goes, "We're going to get the next 4." And he's just so happy. He's like, "Go get him."
That's what you need. That's Rhett. That's the kind
That
of
guy is a dud.
He is a corny.
He's the Dave Cameron of NFL.
He is so
QB.
corny.
Yeah.
Russ, I don't have time for your goofy shit right now. We just got our doors blown off and I'm pissed off.
Russ, stop stretching in front of me. Get out of here.
Oh, shucks, guys. Hey, who was Connie that guy? Was Connie the Russell Wilson of the Flames team?
Connie-
No, Conroy was not even close to being as annoying as. How can you have any faith? Like, you're actually excited because Russell Wilson, there was a video of him saying, "We're gonna." Oh,
He's
boy.
talking himself into it. He said last
No,
night,
I
by
think he was
Friday, I
saying
think
that-
I'll actually think they'll win this thing. I don't know what changes between now and Friday, but yeah. Hence the jackometer. There's your seedings. Let's look at the playoff bracket of sorts. They'll reseed after the wild card weekend. The two teams with buys you see right there, the Detroits and the Kansas Cities.
So, who is the most jinxed out of this group?
Bills.
First franchises.
Bills first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's close. Vikings have probably had a lot of bad luck when you
Vikings have
Vikings have had
screwed
bad luck.
themselves over
Yeah.
a few
Yeah.
times. Yeah,
It's probably,
Lions never win.
right, but I feel like all that's changed the last 2 years.
Well, they've been around for a long time. So.
Yeah, it's 50 years of suck, but very good 2 years. Yeah, I think the most cursed in the AFC, it's clearly the Bills, and in the NFC, it's the Vikings.
Awesome.
One child asked me about the KFC the other day. He thought that was, and they said, no,
Yeah.
no, KFC's different. But
I gotta find out if my brother ate the KFC KD yet.
nothing.
The Katie's chicken sandwich.
Oh dear.
What?
No, it's craft dinner
After dinner.
with a KFC seasoning packet.
I tried the chicken sandwich with the craft dinner on it.
Okay, I can see that. And
It was okay.
Was this at an actual KFC or was this like
No, yeah,
JFC,
this was
Jack
at KFC.
fried chicken?
KFC.
Oh yeah, it's the
I was so
chicken
high,
sandwich with
And I
the,
put the craft dinner on it. It was great.
JFC, this tastes good.
Hey, Jack, I went to KFC. I asked them for the craft dinner. They didn't know what the hell I was talking about.
No,
I
they-
said that
You're
you
high.
did this thing. They said, you're an idiot.
Playoff bracket, please.
Ryan, back to you.
Thanks, dude. There it is.
Brackets.
Kind of
We
a
got
bracket.
brackets.
Reseed. This was no lines. What game are we excited about the most, fellas?
All of them.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Don't mind
Let's
that.
go. All of them.
okay.
I think the Broncos Bills has a chance to be really dog shirt. Ditto Pittsburgh, but I kind of hope for Tomlin. He schemed them well over the years.
I think the Commanders Buccaneers could have some points on the board there.
Green Bay Philly played week 1. It was like 48 to 40 something else. I think it was crazy.
Yeah. I worry about that Broncos Bills. It should be good, but it's
Based on what?
Well, Bronco, they're playing their best football. Everyone next they're playing, but it feels like the Bills are pretty good. I do worry about Jack Steelers a little bit there. Yeah, when you put it this way, when you talk about who are we excited about, I'm less excited about the actual games as opposed to just having lots of football on.
Yeah,
I would say the NFC is more appealing to me than the AFC game.
Yeah, I think Green Bay, Philly, and Minnesota, LA they could be very, very good. I look at those matchups like that could be fun. I think LA was one of the only teams that's beaten Minnesota this year. It's Detroit and them. That's it.
I am very curious to see how Sam Darnold and the Vikings, how they respond.
Yeah,
because you got your whatever pushed in last week.
Yeah.
Can you rally in a hurry against a well-coached team, or did that just completely sewer your entire year?
And they've already lost to the Rams, as Bender reminded us last night. He's a Rams guy.
Yeah, because remember 2 weeks ago they had Sam Darnold on their shoulders, showering him with water in the locker room after the game, and then they got absolutely shit pumped last week. You go on a 2-game skid at the end of the year to lose in the opening round would be a tough way to go.
Hey, Rhett, your Bills, who's the most important player? And is it even close?
No, it's not close.
Well, if he's the MVP of the league.
Let's go back to the MVP of the league's draft night with the Bills Mafia watching on and remember how it went, because I didn't recall this going this way.
Mika Fitzpatrick. Have traded the 7th pick to the Buffalo Bills. With the 7th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Josh Allen. So the kid from Fresno who played his college ball in Wyoming is going.
Dean, like you say with the draft, you just there's risk inherently involved. You never really know what you're going to get.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was also Mina Kimes, wasn't it? I think she's a Bills fan. It was the same thing. Josh Allen. No. No.
There was a history of high draft pick quarterbacks for the Bills not doing very well. JP Lossman.
Yeah.
I think that there was some ingrained fear of that.
Well, and you had noted one year he's turning over the ball too much. This guy, all he does is turn it over. He
couldn't make a long pass.
He's been sensational. Here's a guy that was drafted and had some great acclaim early in his career, but fans feel the opposite way as we go back to this tried, tested, and true meme of the bus on the mountains. There's the Broncos fan paying Russ $37 million to not play for them. Oh, what a glorious time to be alive. And the Steelers fans paying him $1 million to play for them. Miserable like Jack, our producer.
Yeah, it helps when you draft a star quarterback 12th overall, the Broncos.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kenny Pickett, star young quarter. Oh.
Paying $37 million.
Isn't that beautiful? Isn't it? It's just amazing.
How's it going? It's working great. It's a lot of money, though, isn't it? It is a lot of money.
We couldn't be happier. I will choose my words carefully. We're thrilled.
It's fantastic. I'm sorry, Jack.
Rhett likes crazy sports. Let's get back to these jugglers. We saw the guy on the unicycle juggling and going mountain biking. Like, I think this is an odd breed. We're not the most normal guys, but now we're doing the skiing and juggling, which they're calling scuggling. I don't know.
Yeah, the scuggle is a hard thing to explain to anybody. The public, skiers, jugglers. Because, I'm not just juggling and skiing. And I'm not really just skiing and juggling. I'm scuggling. I'm expressing myself both simultaneously. And I have to match it to reality or it doesn't work. Like, look at here, I'm laying in on that edge. I'm flying down this groomer. And if you watch, when I turn left, I have to use my right hand and throw to the left. Same here with my left hand turning into the right. It's wild. I am fully scuggling.
Nothing worse than a cocky scuggler.
I know one thing. That guy's cool.
Yeah.
That guy is cool. Buy him a beer at the bar.
Cool.
Yeah.
Rhett loves scuba diving. Were you down in South Africa when you went with the sharks?
Yeah, me and Kemper.
You and Kemper. We got the video. Here you are. Some sort of a shark's den? Is that a thing? Sharks Club? What do you?
I want to watch this.
Oh, Dean, it's fine. There's nothing scary at the end here. Trust me. Trust me, Dean.
Check my texts.
Dean, do you trust me?
Nope.
Dean? A lot of sharks. Boy, they're getting closer, Dean. Really close now.
White tip reef sharks. Ah!
Dean, you didn't trust me.
Oh, that's the puffer fish. That thing touches you, you're done.
What a cutie. Happy guy. Anyway, that sounded like a good trip you were on with Kemper there. Proud of you.
Love it.
Love
Dean,
it.
You used to work at a newsroom in Brandon, didn't you? You did the sports.
Brandon.
That's right.
Pickle Fest.
And now over to Dean for the sports. Now, I don't know if this is, I don't think this is you, but
Oh, okay.
something like this might have happened to you. This is in Sacramento. Can't be.
Yeah.
Let's go to it. Here we are.
Well, he thought so yesterday when he talked to the media. He hadn't been told otherwise. Over the past couple of weeks, you know, he had such a great start to last season.
That's something we do, though. Jake.
He's probably just buying lingerie for his wife. I don't see a problem with that. The guy's getting some Christmas shopping done at work.
Yeah, that looks like a lingerie website.
I don't know. Kind of looks more
Can I
like
put this in my cart? I mean, it's shit.
Well, he's wearing a tie. I'm sure he's a classy fella.
Busted.
Dean, we've got an invention that's going to
Hey,
change.
Jack, just, I know that you hate me, but if something like that ever, could you say something in my ear, maybe? Like, kill your screen?
Oh, we can see the reflection of your laptop off of the picture behind you. That is a huge hog. You need to take that down. Thank you, Jack.
Right. What late night last night? You left before Dean and I did. Dean, today.
How long did you guys stay on? I had to get out of there. I was falling asleep. I had the cough thing going.
We had to help Jack clean up and wrap cable and pack his car.
Yeah, because usually you do want to put in that extra time and then help clean up.
Yeah, like but it was an emergency situation where
right. And so we knew Dean probably best to go from home today.
That's right.
And then I saw this invention. I'm thinking, like, this could revolutionize your life. Like, all of a sudden, these home days, you could be doing all kinds of stuff, Dean. This is a motorized bed that also is that amphibious? Ambidextrous? Not sure.
Wow.
Water, land. Dean, you don't have to leave your bed ever again. Look at this bastard. He's got to figure it out.
Me and the shoveler would love one of those.
There it is. See, that's Jan 6. You're heading up there for the old we won the election. You don't even have to leave your bed. That's great, Rats.
Put your time into something
Isn't that
important.
great?
Right, Dean? Like, look at this guy.
So we're shipping out a prototype. If
It's
it,
a great
if it
track
works well,
system.
we might
That
get
is a
you
great
to
system.
endorse it. Yeah.
Wow.
It's so dumb.
So dumb.
Speaking of dumb, this fat mouse, what an idiot. Look at this.
It's flash out there. This is so embarrassing.
Look at the face, the poor bastard.
Oh.
Are the humans gonna
dummy.
That's your own fat fault now, isn't it?
So this is in your basement, Dean? Is that right?
Yeah. Listen to guy.
Big.
That's it.
Oh my gosh. Poor little guy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So what do you do? Do you have mercy on? Do you try and cut it out? Do you just throw it in the bin?
Kangaroo rat.
I think you need some olive oil there and help that bugger out and then put him outside.
The most like, yeah, ha ha. Would you fucking get me out of this thing?
Hey, once you're done being Insta famous, can we get me out of this, huh?
Does that mean there's more of those behind
No,
them?
it'd be
there
just one.
walls? Just
Yeah,
one.
Just one.
Now, Dean, you're the only cook in your house. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
Do the kids ever text you midday and say what's for dinner, or are they just like, yeah, whatever it is, it is?
They just show up and it's
okay. Well, I got to
Show up and rave.
Yeah.
If they're not that picky, this is what you should do, especially if they're not giving you respect in the kitchen.
This guy.
Must be something sticky.
This guy.
He's just got this look on his face. It's beautiful.
The same guy that puts plungers on his nipples and
Is that the same guy?
tears the tablecloths off of himself. And
Right. Oh my God, you're right. It is him.
it's the same guy.
And finally, Rhett, you and this gentleman may share some interpretation of dry January / rye January. A lot of people talking about, am I drinking this month? Am I not? Well, this looks like a common everyday guy. Let's hear him out, shall we?
Hey there. Well, it's January. Ugh. And if you're like me, you decided to try dry January as a way to get your life back on track. But if you're also like me, you've quickly learned that dry January absolutely sucks and makes this month even sadder. So bored. That's why from here on out, I'm doing dry January with an asterisk. Dry January with an asterisk? What is that, you're probably wondering? Dry January with an asterisk is basically the same as dry January. The only difference is, if there's an event I really want to have a drink at, I mentally borrow a day from a later month. For example, I'm doing dry January, but I was invited to a party this Saturday. Now, I see this random Tuesday in February, and I'm not going to drink on that day, so I'll consider that my new January 13th, and this Saturday is now February 20th. So my January is still dry.
We're all adults here, things come up. Birthdays, sporting events, Thursdays, Mondays.
Do you really want to let all those events get ruined by dry January? You might be thinking, it sounds to me like you failed dry January. No, I didn't. I just borrowed days. And my only regret is if I didn't come up with this idea earlier, because this is awesome. Yeah, man, want to go to a pub crawl tonight?
I thought you were doing dry January.
I'm still doing it. I'm just borrowing today from March.
Dude, what does that even mean?
What do you knock out? At the end of the day, we don't know how many more months we have left, so why waste one? And switch to dry January with an asterisk today.
It's a compelling case he builds, boys.
Yes. I appreciate the mental commitment to figuring this out. I like his approach.
Don't need that Tuesday in Feb. Come on.
All ends up being the same thing. Try.
Yeah. They don't ask how, it's how many.
Yes.
Well
There
done,
is
Zach.
NFL football all of January. Like
I can't have a beer when I watch my team win a wild card game. What are you talking about here?
What am I
Like
gonna do?
Jack's not going to get.
Yeah, we'll be
super
borrowing some days. I like that a lot. Saturday we'll take some days, and then the end of the month I'm gonna have to borrow some days too.
Yeah, we're up in Jasper. That's gonna have to be like probably something in April, like a Monday. Yeah.
Yeah.
A bunch of those. All the Mondays in April, I think I'm gonna use in Jasper.
Oh God. Jasper.
You're not ready for that yet? It's okay. You got 3 weeks to get ready.
No, it's fine. It's just your lot.
Like the ice is good over here, Dean. If you want to come skate.
It's
I
nice.
don't skate.
Oh.
No.
Do you at least get some sort of a fedora or something so you can look like a coach? Minimal effort, please.
Toque. It's cold.
Yeah.
Might be nice.
Yeah. Might be.
Anyway, that's your Pinder Report for a Wednesday. Wednesday
Okay.
already.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was Friday this morning.
No. Village Honda, Northwest Auto Mall, online at villagehonda.com. Check out the new 2025s. That new car smell. Quality folks up at Village Honda. They're your dealership for life. How's that service? Because you smashed your rig up. How's that going? Did you get that figured out?
Well, I've just noticed these insurance companies are so streamlined and easy to deal with, and everything's happening very quickly.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
really, I mean, Village Honda has been waiting at the ready for quite some time, saying, you just let us know. And
Right.
for some odd reason, these normally mom and pop shop, wonderful customer relation insurance companies, something's gone wrong here.
Good thing is, though, when they're ready, so will Village Honda.
That's right.
They'll be ready for you. villagehonda.com is the website. I found I just see in the Jack, you you found a little something here. Jack, you know what? That's the thing a producer does.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to come up over the course of a show, but you got to be able to pivot. You got to be able to be on top of things. How about that right there? There it is.
There it is. What do we think of that? I've tried it.
I
was
think
okay.
it looks amazing.
How
and
sloppy was it? Is
Very
this-
sloppy.
you
It
need
was, and it took
diaper for
way
this
too
thing?
long to get to my house.
Okay, so I still have questions. Is it regular KD on top of a KFC sandwich, but it's a KFC original recipe flavor? That
I don't
the
know.
craft dinner itself tastes like is supposed to taste like.
I think
craft-
those are two different things. Yeah.
It might be, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done that research. I don't know if it's normal KD or.
Well, when you tasted it, did it taste like normal KD, or were you like, "Whoa, this is different"?
But you put it on a chicken sandwich.
Yeah, like, but I didn't make the KD. This is what I'm saying. I bought it like this, and it showed up to
He
my
had
house.
it ordered to his
Oh, I
home,
see.
which is
No,
ridiculous.
I don't know this to be a fact, but I believe that the box of craft dinner comes with the seasoning packet that has KFC flavoring.
Yes, I bought it for my brother for Christmas.
And that would be the same KD that they're using on said chicken sandwich, Dean. That's your
That I can't go that far.
okay.
I didn't know the KD on the chicken sandwich was actually a thing.
You think my wife would get down with one of these or what?
Yes. Yeah, smear it all over herself. You'd eat it off of her. You can see that happening.
Well, I gotta go, guys. Busy day ahead. Gotta find
Yeah.
KFC.
So the Leafs last night beat the Flyers 3-2. Is that right?
They did. Yep. They're down
5
2.
straight wins or 4 in a row for the Leafs, something like that. Anyway, but the game was in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Rhett, you've been in Philadelphia. You've been at that arena. You've been there as a player, knowing you know what it's like to go in there as a player with Philly fans and just what it is. But every once in a while, maybe just maybe someone goes in there and doesn't really know what it is in Philly to encounter a Philadelphia fan. This was last night post game. Again, big win for the Leafs. Leaf fans watching their team win. They're in good moods. Probably should have known a little better about how things go in the city of brotherly love.
That guy don't care. They're like, he punched me, huh? You're right.
Yeah,
You're in
it's funny.
Philly.
Guy's got his Eagles hat on back. Like, look at. Hey, huh? He has no inclination that he's going to get popped.
He thinks
Have
he's
you
in
never-
Toronto.
Are you like? Have you never been here? But do you not understand? Looks like Rose Hill. Hey, Rosie.
Yeah, Rosie.
I played for the Flyers.
Rosie would have handled himself a lot better than that. I
Yeah,
can
he
tell you.
would have.
These guys are like,
where are the martinis
Pointing
and bento
fingers
boxes?
at him.
Are they
He's
in the
like, yeah.
compost?
They're like, oh, you figured out it's me that's punching you in the face?
That
Oh,
guy
look-
hit me. Yeah, you're a douche. Well, you're not going to get much support in Philly.
yeah, the Philly cops are like,
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
you did punch you.
Nice
oh, you're
Matthews
egging
jersey.
on the
Then they tase him
the
and throw him
whole
in the back
team
of the
fan.
car. Go for a ride. Anyway.
Gotta get to that. You know what? The big letdown was in Philly this year. I believe the Ducks just passed through, and that was the Cutter Gauthier, screw you, Danny Briere, and the Flyers that led to the trade for Jamie Drysdale. It was an absolute non-event. I thought that was going to be like WrestleMania.
No. Torts didn't want to talk about it.
Stinking Torts, taking all the fun away.
I'm not talking about Cutter
Is-
Gauthier. Cutter.
Spice it up again.
I mean, I don't want anything bad to happen to the kid, but I don't care about him. Something along those lines.
Boy,
Sounds
Torts.
fair.
Yeah.
Anything good tonight, Dean?
No,
Oh,
no. 4 games. The NHL. We got a
I
big.
meant, are you cooking anything? Like, you
No, got a ringette game.
Oh,
Got to take the kid to a game of some sort, and
I got a
then,
7:30 game too. Big match.
probably got to watch this 8:30 thing from LA.
Yeah, I was excited that the calendar looked open and I might be able to get some sleep to 8:30 puck drop. Okay.
8:30. Yeah.
8:30 puck drop.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
So there's that.
Awesome.
Bets?
Bet.
We got to do bets.
I feel good about today's bets.
We've been on a little heater here, fellas. We nailed both yesterday. 1 for 2 the day before. Big game hunting in there. Let's roll.
Bet365, world's largest sports betting platform. Open that account with Bet365 today. Bet on a huge range of markets. You get the app. Use the promo code NATION when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Rhett doesn't always dip a toe, but you did today. Walk us through it.
Whoa.
Yegor is not going to go the rest of his life without scoring a goal. He's going to move to center. It's going to be a different thing. He had a bunch of shots yesterday. I don't know if it's big game hunting, but he's scoring.
At that number it is. I love it. Yeah.
Hey?
Great stuff. 11 shot attempts last night. Go get one, Yegor.
John Higgins is not who I wanted to pick on the money line in the snooker championship. I like Ronnie O'Sullivan, but for some reason I pushed the wrong button.
So you're switching allegiances here.
Yeah. Give her John.
Go Johnny.
John.
And again, this
George.
This is darts? What is this?
No, that's
snooker.
Snooker.
I don't know if it's snooker or darts. I can actually, now that you bring it up, because I was looking at both. I think it's snooker.
That's amazing.
And the golf is huge. People were talking about it at the pub last night. Richmonds Pub. Everyone.
Yeah.
Or like 2 people brought it up to me. I watched some highlights. Very exciting stuff. Some bad things happening out in California, so I went with the LA Golf Club to win outright.
Nice. I do like the analysis on the middle one where you took the wrong guy, the wrong guy, and you're not sure what sport it even is.
Probably snooker, though.
It's snooker or darts, and I wanted Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Ronnie
O,
quite
a bet.
Press the wrong button. Now I'm going for Johnny. There's only one, folks.
Okay, so what sport? I don't know.
I'm not sure what. Fencing? Don't know.
Ryan, how about you?
Canucks are feeling good. Maybe. A lot of game time decisions tonight. Don't know a lot about the lineup, but if they can feel good and play well and get some guys back, plus 160 is a large number, albeit against a very good Washington team. I just like the big number there. And Mackenzie Weegar, stay hot. Young man, turned a year older yesterday, 2-pointer, 1 point tonight, plus 145. Let's keep going.
There you go. Those are our Bet365 bets. You can use them or you can maybe don't.
Abuse them.
No, we'll see how it all works out. But that's the thing about huge range of markets. But you may not have even known that snooker and darts were on there.
Yes, there's lots on there.
Lots.
Badminton. I was going to go with table tennis, also known as ping pong.
Right.
Because I got a new ping pong table. But
really?
Yeah. So if you guys want to come over, have a tournament.
Pinder, don't do it. Pinder loves it.
We have a table. I'll shellac you left-handed. That's my guarantee to you.
Oh, I won't be good.
Yeah.
I use 2 paddles.
Really?
I can't reach across my body with my right hand.
Yeah.
What is the paddle?
Always use 2 paddles.
That'll do it. See you, buddies.